Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to episode 17 of Hearts of Iron 4. I think I'm getting absolutely wrecked at the moment. Most of that is because we are having big problems with the fact that France capitulated and now all of France is pretty much owned by Italy. France don't really have any forces left. There's a couple of little pockets of resistance on the coast, but we are getting absolutely wrecked. What did we just finish there? Let's go for more support weapons. Let's just keep working through our research as quickly as we can. We still don't have any manpower. We are still massively behind in terms of our production. If we go ahead here and have a look at our infantry equipment, you can see that we are 10,000 pieces of equipment in the hole. We are still working on building more factories. They do take quite a significant amount of time though. Then we've got some more military factories queued up. Now we are trying to push back against Italy a little, but most of our units at the moment are just completely wrecked, and because they're surrounded they can't actually get any reinforcements, which is causing us some major problems. Let's get these guys to start trying to push in towards. If we reconnect our supply lines, it might actually help. We're trying to wait until we have 300 political power so we can increase our recruitment, although it might be too little too late. Like I said, the problem is I hadn't really realised at the start what was going on. Right, these guys have actually managed to take all of the territory that I asked them to. So let's go ahead and set another offensive front line. And we'll make sure that these guys are pushing. Plan is said to be risky, but we're going to go ahead and do that anyway. They should be able to take those provinces. Quite a considerable number of provinces there. And we should be able to sort of link things back up with Australia. Then these provinces here are sort of quite large, so it's not as much territory as it looks. But yeah, we're hiding in this little tiny bit of French territory up here, and we don't really have any way to get supplies. So our army here is probably surrounded on all sides and pretty much screwed. We're winning two battles here, and we're losing quite a few more. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be attacking. Maybe I should just be sort of standing my ground and letting them try and attack me. Not really too sure on that one. Let's actually stop the attack order. Let's let the guys just sort of sit there on the line and see if the Germans want to attack into me. Same with these guys. They're not really doing anything. They're just kind of sitting there. Can we actually give them a useful order? Fallback, garrison. Garrison area. Add states to remove them from the army's order. If you draw an order with this tool, any other standing orders the group has will be removed. Okay. Denmark has capitulated. Fantastic. So, garrison... Garrison? I didn't ask you all to move. I want you to garrison. Garrison... Can you garrison? Click on states to remove them to the army's order. There we go. We'll see how that works out. I'm not convinced it's going to work out well, because guess what? I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Resistance to occupation. How are we pushing in up here? We're getting there. We are starting to move forwards. Looks like Italy have moved most of their troops out. They do have a small handful up here. But yeah, we're really having some problems with supply right now. Yes, I think I've definitely made a mess of this campaign. If I was to start again, I think I'd have a better idea of what I was doing. I'd know slightly more on what to prioritise. And I think this is one of the issues with grand strategy games, particularly the Paradox ones, is even when you have a tutorial, and the tutorial's not all that great, there are so many different things that can happen during the game that they can't cover in the tutorial, and I completely understand that. I understand that you cannot create a tutorial that is going to explain exactly how everything works in a game where things can happen in a random order, but it would certainly be nice to know what things you had to prioritise, and this is one of the problems with these games, is you often have to play through 2 or 3 games and lose to get the information needed to work out how to win, which I suppose is fair enough and is true of a lot of games. You know, you learn by your mistakes, and it is partially trial and error. But gamers these days have quite a short attention span, and I think the last thing you want to do is make a game where people get so bored of playing or get so frustrated they play a couple of games and continually lose and then just go, well, the game's too hard, or I don't understand it, I'm done with it. And I think that happens to a lot of people. Oh, France wants to give us 17 divisions. Nice. Where are those divisions, France? Are they all up here? Are they down here? I probably should have read. It probably told me where they were giving me those divisions, but I didn't actually look. Let me just pause the game. Most of France's stuff's down here. I'm not seeing anything. So it's probably all up here somewhere. Most of these guys look like they're already in an army. Some of France have... oh, that's Belgium, I think. Retreated to some of my territory. So Germany's actually doing a really good job. I mean, Germany and Italy between them. If only the Soviets had have gotten involved and helped. I think that was one of the things that has made this quite difficult. The fact that we've got no support on the east side of the German Reich. We've got another ace pilot promoted. Okay, we did have that event before, so obviously it's something that just happens randomly. Not too sure if the push in this direction is making any difference. Yeah, these guys are all just kind of getting screwed over at the moment. I mean, they are all garrisoned, but they've got no supplies getting to them, so they can't reinforce. I am making it difficult because I am mainly in the mountains. So, oh, new war participant. Finland has joined as an ally. Okay. German Reich has declared war on Finland. Now then, Finland. How well are you going to do, is the question. Norway's already involved. What about Sweden? Sweden aren't involved in this. Invite to faction. Would not join in because you have a neutral foreign policy and you don't want to get drawn into a war. Get the feeling sooner or later you will anyway. British Raj wants to send 5 divisions as expeditionary forces to help us out. That is fine, but you're probably going to be more useful down here fending off Japan. Let's just try getting everybody over here. It doesn't look like Japan have made too much of a push in on this side. We'll have to go and make another army down there at some point just to get that done. We're up to 245 political power. National focus completed. There we go. Look how much our manpower has just suddenly gone up by. We can start training again, although training units is fine, but we still don't have the equipment to give them. We can get another national focus, though, so we should probably... What's this dodgy bug thing up here? Interface bug. Embargo Germany. But what does it actually give us? Grants minor trade sanctions. That doesn't really help all that much. I can't click on that. It won't let me mouse over it. One of the following must be true. Can't do that one. So a lot of these things are just adjusting world tension and aren't really helping all that much. Hold Hong Kong. Could be useful. 3 coastal forts. Not all that useful. Develop the Raj. Give them some more factories. That might actually be a useful thing to do. Let's go ahead and start working on that. Of course, if we weren't working towards a national focus, we could actually save up some political power a little bit more quickly. Destroyers for bases agreement. Having taken the stance against the Germans, the US appear to be interested in ensuring Britain stands strong against the German threat. They are, however, also concerned with maintaining their own naval presence in the Atlantic. In exchange for several of our naval bases, they will supply our nation with destroyer ships. The ships will be in reserve, but accepting will still strengthen the military bonds between our nations, which may be a wise decision. Well, I think we'll say yes. We'd like to get them involved in here. Let's get that selected and unselected just so it goes away. Canada wants to send us 2 more divisions. That is cool. I bet they're all on the flipping east coast as well. Oh, not actually as much as I thought. Come on, guys. We want to get you all down over here. And I'm going to start moving some of those guys across as quickly as possible. We've got 3 dockyards now. How many have we got? I can never find the number. I'm using 5 of 20. Obviously, one of the ships I was producing stopped being produced. Those are battleships. Let's go ahead and add something else. Let's just go ahead and add some destroyers. I suppose not a bad idea. Now we've got an oil deficit, because of course we have. So how many do we need? That should solve the problem. There we go. Yeah, manpower, we will start burning through it quite quickly. These forces down here are getting absolutely crushed. I don't think we've got any way of getting them out. A great victory, the fall of Rome. Allied forces recently entered Rome. After the surrender of its garrison, the city is now under military occupation. Most historical landmarks remain intact, having weathered yet another battle for control over the city. For now, at least, Allied troops have stayed out of the Vatican City, as requested by the Holy See. The fall of Rome is an important milestone in the Italian campaign, and some are wondering if this means an end to the organised resistance to the advancing Allied armies on the peninsula. So Rome is actually currently occupied by the Allies. British Raj got over there and got some stuff done. Well, Italy's not going to give up, so not yet they're not anyway. They wouldn't... Actually, only minus 20 to offer peace. But again, I don't know what all the modifiers are, because I don't know this game like I know EU4. I don't know how all of the modifiers work. So these are these American destroyers, which should all be grouped up. We can go ahead and give them a commander. And I don't know, where do we want to go and try and get fresh with the Germans? Do we just want to sort of hang around in the channel, or do we want to move down to this sea here? I think we might want to do that. Let's go ahead and patrol. No, that was the wrong button. Wrong button. Got a right click. Patrol. There we go. Let's get those guys moved in. I think we've got enough stuff in the channel and over on the sort of east coast. But yeah, I'm really not too sure how I'm going to push against these guys up here. Looks like we're winning a couple of battles over here in the north, but yeah, I think these guys are all going to end up just getting... they're completely out of position, so there isn't really anything that they can do. They can't... they're surrounded on all sides. They're completely boxed in. Naval combat going on. Doesn't really matter. So what have we got here? Belgium has capitulated. Great. So there's even more land that now belongs to the German Reich. Well, this isn't going well, is it? So at least I know how to get the manpower back now. Knowing how that works is certainly going to help in future playthroughs. Definitely going to help out there. So yeah, France being quite weak and getting screwed over by Italy, not good. Also didn't help that I didn't really defend them. Maybe I should have put my focus more on helping France. Maybe I should be more defensive. Maybe this is where I'm going wrong. Because I'm so used to playing games like EU4, where the trick is usually to be quite aggressive. By doing that here, there is a significant disadvantage. You should probably stay defensive as much as possible. Let's go, and I want that army and assign you to that army. There we go. Yeah, so you probably do need to play a lot more defensive than I have been, and also I didn't realise that you could change these existing things. I thought these were things that were... I didn't realise that they were things you could change. I thought they were like these things where you can add stuff, but they were already pre-added. So we can go ahead and change things like this, so we could increase our production speed. We can go up to war economy and things like that. So now that I know that we've got these options in the next playthrough, that is probably where I will put some early focus in. So we are gaining some political power. It is relatively slow. Also, we're still winning a few battles down here. I mean, partially defending in the mountains is helping. We do have a mountain regiment or two here, so I'm glad I put those there. But most of our forces are just getting completely decimated. How are things going down here in Africa? Not too bad, actually. Looks like we are definitely starting to push Italy out. And then we'll move down here and try and sort of mop up the rest of North Africa, if that is at all possible. So what have we got going on up here? Looks like we're still defending. I mean, it is weakening Germany's units, but at the same time, we're taking losses ourselves. We've already burnt through sort of half of the manpower that we got for completing that national focus. We're in January. The weather is quite bad. Don't even really think we need the air support down there now. I think we should be able to take all of these guys out ourselves. So we will need to set that army a new front line just as soon as they have managed to take that last province up there. Which I don't think is going to take an awfully long time, if I'm honest. So if we click on that, it should tell us how things are going. So we have 5 divisions. They have 3 divisions. We've actually got 7 divisions now. We are converging on the province. No reserves. We are actually sort of just bringing more and more units in. They are entrenched, though. And they do have a terrain bonus. But there again, we're encircling them. So that is also giving them a bit of a negative modifier as well. We're attacking from multiple directions. I assume that this is a battle that we are going to really win. So we are currently winning. We estimate that the battle will last for another... It's actually going up. Are we losing divisions or are they gaining divisions? Not too sure what it is that affects that, why it goes up and down and changes. We just have added another division there, though. So that's probably going to take another 7 or 8 days. It's going up and down because it can't really make up its mind what it wants to do. It still says we're currently winning, though. 6 days. Okay, so what about some of the battles that are going on up here? Are we winning any of these? We're actually currently winning these battles as well. I have no idea how we are winning these battles. Because we're evading, basically. I think we're just kind of running away. We don't have an awful lot here. We've got low supply. We are encircled. And our organisation is through the floor. We're outnumbered 3-1. So I have no idea how we're actually winning that particular battle. Okay, we now have more than 300 political power. So let's go and change this to extensive conscription. Does increase our training time, but look at that, we're now up to 2.09 million. Yeah, I should have done this very, very early on. I hadn't realised that that was something I could change. And again, it's something that isn't explicitly taught to you in the tutorial. The tutorial does take you to this screen and briefly mentions some of the things you could do, but it doesn't ever... It sort of tells you in passing that you can use this screen to increase your recruitment, but it never turns around in the actual step-by-step tutorial and goes, click this button, click here, now you have more troops available. And I completely missed it. So this is just one of those things where it's such an important mechanic, such an important button, and the game fails to tell you that it's there, which I find absolutely amazing. You guys, you need a new front line. Your new front line is going to be here. And I guess, really, your front line should also be around to there, I suppose. And while we're at it, might as well go down to there. So we'll move all those guys back down to that new front line. We have finished Grand Assault. So that would have been our grand, what's this, our land doctrine. So we probably want infantry offensive, which gives us more breakthrough and organisation. So let's go and start working on that. I'm trying to sort of stick to the same trees. When I finish one bit of research in infantry doctrine, I try to go back and do infantry doctrine again, just to see what happens. And what have we got going on? We're still winning more of these fights than we're losing. I honestly don't understand how that's happening, but we are apparently winning some of these battles. I think it's mostly because I'm being a little bit more defensive now, as opposed to just throwing in. So we got some planes available in reserves. However, you guys are in the Mediterranean. You're on standby. You're in North Africa. Fighters, you want to be here, and you want to be doing probably interception. And there's probably more wings with no missions as well. Let's go down here, actually. Can we get more wings? What have we got? We've got some bombers. Let's go ahead and move you all in. Create new wing here. Okay. Take some time to get there. It'll take you a few days. Then we should be able to get you working over North Africa. Good, 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 good. Looks like we lost a submarine there. That was unfortunate. So we want everybody to get into position onto this line. There's support weapons. The techs are coming in thick and fast now. So we don't really want to go ahead of time. We can get mechanized improvements. So from motorized to mechanized. So we will continue to try and push into Italian North Africa here. Before trying to see what we can do over here in Europe. But to be honest, I think it is lost. But I'll play on for another video or two just to see where things go. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Hearts of Iron 4. I'll see you on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.